You are listening to the Backyard Philosophy Podcast, a podcast where a couple friends sit and talk around the fire after everyone else has gone to bed. Grab a drink and join us as we discuss everything from famous explorers, artificial intelligence, and what is the meaning of life. Lions, bears, and wolves. Oh my. Old problems for the modern farmer. For eons, farmers have been trying to protect their herds with new and exotic ways. From trained dogs to electric fences to guns and sirens. But this one method is making a massive comeback to help the farmers, to help protect their herds from predators. And that is the almighty donkey. But before I tell you why the donkey kicks ass, Nick, how are you and what are you drinking?
It's pretty good up until the puns started. Not even a minute in.
Yeah, there's a lot of wordplay you can do with donkeys and jackasses. But these donkeys, these quote-unquote majestic creatures, were first domesticated around 4500 BC, give or take a few hundred years, but around that time frame. Or at least that's the earliest evidence we have of donkey domestication. From there, donkeys quickly all over the world got domesticated, bred, and used. In fact, there are many different types of donkeys and subspecies donkeys, well over 100 different breeds, ranging in different sizes, colors, and behavior. And Nick, I think you'll appreciate this. America, back to back for the largest and the smallest. The smallest recorded donkey stands a little over 64 centimeters. That's about 25 inches for all my American countrymen. And that small donkey was born and raised in Florida, of all places.
That's like, there's dogs that are bigger than that.
There are a lot of dogs bigger than that.
I mean, how does that even happen?
It's Florida. Florida makes it way. But on the autism spectrum, America also has one of the biggest donkeys, the American Mammoth Jackstock, standing from feet to shoulder at 173 centimeters or 68 inches. The American Mammoth donkey.
So close.
I know, right? Donkey ass 69. We gotta make that happen, America. Come on. The American Mammoth donkey is descendants from an imported donkey that were bred and owned by none other than George Washington and Henry Clay. I'm not quite sure the relationship between the two, but the American Mammoth Jackstock goes back to those two men. And their goal was simply to make a donkey the size and the strength of a mule. And for those wondering why they might want to do this, mules are hybrid creatures between a horse and a donkey. And since they are hybrids, they are sterile, so they can't reproduce. So having a strong animal that can reproduce would make life so much easier and cheaper for farmers. And breeding to create the American Mammoth Jackstock was extremely successful. I mean, their ancestors are all throughout the United States. I'm not quite sure if they're worldwide yet, but currently the largest mammoth donkey lives in Michigan. Also, fun fact, male donkeys are called jacks, and females are called jennies or jeanettes. And the units for measuring donkeys are, at best, annoying. They measure donkeys in height by a unit called hands, and the circumference, aka their neck, with cannon bore. Guys, why?
So like the length, so the size of the neck is essentially how much neck you could fit inside a cannon?
I don't know. I'll be honest. They'll say what it is, and then I just scroll down until I see diameter or height. I couldn't understand how hands was used to measure a donkey's height. Was it a standard hand? Was it not a standard hand? Why can't we just use all use the metric system and make it simpler for everyone?
Well, this donkey was made in America. We're the center of innovation, and where we don't use the metric system. So pretty much all you need to know right there.
You're not wrong. But now you're thinking, we have a large donkey, which I did not know donkeys could get that big, but you have a donkey that's the size of some small horses. Can I ride into battle to protect my herd? Can a donkey even protect a herd, or is it just going to get scared and run away? The answer is a sounding yes. Donkeys have been used to protect herds for thousands of years, and they are getting a massive update in the 21st century. After researching donkeys, I came to the conclusion that donkeys are badass.
Yeah, we heard you.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm terrible. Donkeys, for centuries, have been guarding herds against wolves, coyotes, and fox. In fact, in Africa, they've been used to guard against hyenas. Donkeys do not like things that look like canines. And if a donkey doesn't know it, the donkey will mess it up. And Nick, you'll like this. Donkeys have even been known to fight and kill mountain lions. That's a tall task for any creature.
Yeah, I see them out in Oregon. They have people put donkeys with their sheep and cows and stuff because there's a lot of mountain lions out here, and that's what they're there for. I see alpacas too. It's another defense one, but yeah, they're trying to keep them from those cougars.
I feel like I could make a joke right there. But you're thinking I'm having a bit fun of you when I say donkeys are killing mountain lions. For those unfamiliar, like Nick and now me are, no, donkeys will fight and kill predator animals. It's true. They bite hard and they kick even harder. Not even just the rear.
I mean, we've all seen Shrek.
Well, actually, that'd be a great pet for Shrek to have because, hey, can you say on my pond? It's a great guard donkey. And they also yell and scream that deters many hungry predators. And the benefits of herd protection just don't stop at donkeys are good fighters. Donkeys have great hearing and eyesight, so they're able to spot threats. Donkeys are far less expensive than guard dogs, not just the up cost front, but also the maintenance. Donkeys are grazers, so they'll eat the same thing that the herd's grazing on. So if you put them with like sheep or goat, no more expensive dog food. Plus medical treatments and yearly shots, far cheaper and less necessary than their counterpart canines. Donkeys live for a long time, ranging from 30 to 50 years, so you don't have to constantly train new guard animals. Also, donkeys don't have the tendency to roam. They stay with the herd and not get sidetracked or wander. Plus, no more late night barking for absolutely no reason. Donkeys, especially bred guard donkeys, have a very calm manner towards humans, so you don't have to worry about your guard donkey biting at someone, and you also don't have to worry about a calorie donkey. Unlike horses, donkeys aren't that skittish. They have no problem standing the ground and fighting. There's a reason why stubborn as a mule is a phrase. In fact, the logistics and logic is overwhelming for having a guard donkey that in 1889, Texas, had to bring it back to Texas, had a program to implement donkeys into the herds. In 1988, the cost of the farmer losing it to predators was $9 million in the 1980s. And then the year after, over 1,800 farmers started using guard donkeys. Now, it's important to note, Texans had mixed results. Some donkeys were better suited for guarding and fought off multiple coyotes and bobcats, while others killed more in the herd than the predators did. But I would like to make note that this is also the early stages of reintroducing donkeys into the herd for Texas, and donkey science of breeding better-tempered donkeys has significantly improved. It is also important to note that female donkeys tend to be better guard donkeys, or at least that's what I saw in my research, because female donkeys are more calm-tempered, so less chance of fighting the herd.
Way to just casually drop the word donkey science.
Oh, that's a great name for a band, Donkey Science.
Damn, that would have been a great name for a podcast.
It's not too late. That being said, donkeys are not perfect guard creatures. Like anything else, they have the pros and cons. Donkeys are most effective at guarding animals smaller than them, such as sheep and goats. Much like llamas, they kind of need to see over their herd to find the predators. So, your donkeys with your cattle and horses, maybe not. Maybe if you get a mammoth donkey, you have a chance, but donkeys also have a hard time and will not fight multiple predators, which I can't exactly blame a donkey for. Donkeys don't really want to fight a pack of wolves. If it's one or two, they'll fight. But if it's a pack or a large group, they're out. They're not going to fight, which, again, I can't blame the donkey for that one. Donkeys, unfortunately, don't care about other pests, such as raccoons and large birds. They don't care at all, so they might not be the best for protecting chickens.
But what about a miniature donkey?
I think a miniature donkey would get yanked by like an eagle. I mean, hawks grab small dogs. That miniature donkey is about the size of a dog. I can just see that just being gone.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Donkeys also do terrible in surviving and guarding in dense forest areas. They are plain and field animals. They need to graze, so their eyesight and ears aren't that effective in dense forest. So if you tend to lead your herds through forest, maybe bring some dogs with you, not the donkey. But donkeys are also multi-use animals. They can not only be used as guard donkeys, that's such a weird statement every time I say it, but donkeys are grinders. They can carry supplies. You can even ride some donkeys. You can be a shepherd riding a donkey with leading your goat to pasture. So, yeah, you have some damage on your fence. You load up your donkey or hook up your donkey to a wagon and take that all-terrain animal out there and get it done. Whatever you need to get done. And like I mentioned, they eat the same food as the rest of the herd. So
it sounds like you're trying to make like a Razor commercial or a Chevy commercial, but with donkeys in it. Like it's just the dad, he's with his kids, and they're going out to hit some balls, and he's just putting the bucket of balls and the bats on the donkey's back, and then the fence is broken, and so he's got to put all the fencing supplies on the donkey. It's like built donkey tough.
That'd probably be a good name for an all-terrain vehicle, Donkey Tough, DT. Hey, thing of fuel economy is always important. Like I mentioned, they eat the same food as the rest of the herd, so you don't have to carry food with you when you're moving herd long distance. Now, when you bring your food, donkey will take care of itself. And, which I found more surprising, donkeys on average are extremely healthy animals. They tend to be healthier than most horse breeds and rarely have any hoof problems. To me, that's money saved of not having to shoe your horse, or shoe your donkey in this case, or get shots, treatments for them.
Now, to be fair, everything is cheaper than horses.
Okay, touche. You have a less chance of breaking your donkey than you do of your ATV. Donkeys are also intelligent. They can be trained to have different commands and have the ability to be fiercely loyal to their owners. So when you see a donkey, don't be a jackass to it and don't bother the creature. It's actually on the clock. And now I know far more about donkeys than I ever thought I would ever know, but they're pretty badass animals.
Well, gonna get one?
When I finally retire out to the green pasture and I have my own stock, maybe. What about you, Nick? Would you be okay with getting a donkey?
Yeah, I'd love to have a donkey. Carry all my shit, apparently.
Now, do you want a mini donkey, a normal sized donkey, or a mammoth donkey?
No, I'm an American, so you're gonna have to supersize that donkey.
Get that George Washington breed.
I want the Washington donkey. Give me that founding father donkey.
I wonder how fast that large donkey runs, because mules are quite fast. I wonder if the donkey that size also is quite fast. You could, again, I don't know why, but I'm stuck on the idea of riding a donkey into battle. I don't know why that's coming up in my head, but that's now consistently what I'm thinking of.
I'm just trying to think of a scenario where that would be applicable.
We're charging up a steep or rocky hill.
And you're going to be the guy sitting on the donkey above everybody else.
Riding down. Have a fleet of donkeys come down. Oh. Well, I hope I taught you something, Nick, and you, the listeners. And yeah, I'm surprised that donkeys aren't more respected animals. Donkeys have always been, at least in cartoon and pulp culture, kind of the depressed or dumb ones. So looks like be careful what you say about a donkey. It helps get you your food.
Thanks for listening to the Backyard Philosophy Podcast. We rarely finish a podcast without missing a point we wanted to bring up, so let us know what we forgot. And if you have a topic you want us to talk about, let us know at Backyard Philosophy on Instagram